Tuesday marked the first day of school in Ventura, and while most students are getting adjusted to their schedules and swapping summertime stories, some at Ventura and Buena are preparing for their first exams of the new year. Perhaps the biggest test this week is the one for new Buena head coach Tim Gutierrez, who believes it's absolutely essential to get started on the right foot.
When starting something new, it's important that our team comes off and kind of sets the tone to the year. I think that is something that can be a springboard for us to, leading into Camarillo and into our preseason schedule.
The Bulldogs went 2-8 last year, but things are much different this season on Victoria Avenue as Gutierrez looks to bring Buena back to the glory days.
There are teams that just do not embrace change, and this team has done a great job at embracing change and adopted a new attitude of having a great attitude and effort at practice and having that commitment and pride and carrying that over not only on the football field but in the classroom. I think that's a huge part in building a complete program.
The greatest change at Buena has been to the conditioning program. The Bulldogs plan to be in better shape than anyone they face this upcoming season.
I feel like we've worked a lot harder. We've run more, worked out more, and I feel like there needs to be a lot more dedication this year than the past years.
I think it kind of helps our mental edge a little bit because it adds to that overall mental toughness.
We're going to be the most conditioned team out there, and the defense is going to be tired.
If one individual is to be the key to a resurgent Buena team in 2012, it's senior quarterback David Corral, who believes he's grown significantly under Gutierrez, who of course was a star quarterback at Santa Clara and San Diego State.
We're learning from Coach G. He's one of the best coaches I've ever been coached by. I look up to him a lot, especially because he knows his stuff.
He's come a long way. I remember our first meeting when we talked about different coverages and protections, and I could see I was just talking over his head. But to see where he's come in about 20 weeks, really, that's what coaching's all about.
Gutierrez is one of 4 new head coaches in the Channel League, an enthralling dynamic in this refreshed league. At Tuesday's coaches meeting, 2 of the new leading men discussed the challenges ahead.
I was the youngest head coach in the Channel League for about a week and a half until Nate Mendoza got hired. I'm excited at the opportunity. I've been an assistant here for 6 years, and I think I've earned the chance to bring my culture and my attitude to Santa Barbara High football.
It's interesting, definitely, to see the revamp, I guess you could say, of the league. So, expecting good things. All the coaching teams are good guys, and I know they're working all their teams hard.
The lone returning head coach is Ventura's Brad Stewart, who first coached in the Channel League in 1986. Stewart believes this doesn't necessarily give his team an advantage.
I don't really know how those other guys are going to operate, what they're going to bring to the table in terms of their offensive scheme, their defensive scheme, their special teams, all of that stuff, that we've kept in a drawer and every year pulled it out and said, I think they might do this. Well, all that stuff's out the window.
Brad is certainly the staple in the league, but it's going to be wide open also. I don't know what to expect out of Santa Barbara or DP or those schools. However, Brad is the one factor that everyone knows about.
Stewart's Cougars are already facing adversity even before the season has started. Thrilling senior running back Leo Camacho broke his foot last week and is expected to be out for about a month.
It kind of just happened, like stress fracture, so couldn't really do much about it. I just got the team support on my back, so I try to keep a smile on my face, stay positive.
He is the guy that made us go last year. I mean, we had Connor, and Connor was awesome, of course, but Leo was the guy you couldn't account for, and really an emotional spark plug and leader for the team, and to have him not available for the opener is going to be a tough thing for us.
Camacho was a key performer last season, a year in which the Cougars were 10-0 in the regular season for the first time in school history. But Stewart has ensured his players have put last season's achievements behind them.
These guys have done an incredible job of wanting their own identity this year. They have been very workmanlike and dedicated and wanting to do things their way.
But as they prep for their Week 0 contests, both Ventura and Buena can't help but talk about their showdown in Week 8.
That's all I hear when I talk to alumni, and it's go get Ventura. And, it's hard for me to, stay focused in that respect, especially when you watch Newberry Park scrimmage Ventura. It's hard to not look down the road sometimes.
The coaches, they tell us not to, but that's always something you have in the back of your mind. No matter what our record is or their record is, that game is always up for grabs. When you out on that field, you have like the best moment of your life. You know, you can't see anything. I mean, you can't hear anything. That was the best moment of my life last year, was coming out on that field.
It's very important. It's one of our main goals of the year, but we got to focus on the game of the week instead of in the future.
The Cougars open at home against state powerhouse Bakersfield, while the Bulldogs travel to Newberry Park Friday night in VCS Prep's first game of the week broadcast in 2012. For VCS Preps on Campus, I'm Danny Page.